We track our macros, our reps, our progress photos. But what if the very supplement fueling your gains is secretly working against your skin? I'm not talking about a little puffiness. I'm talking about unexplained breakouts, sudden oiliness, or a texture you just can't smooth out. For 30 days, I became my own lab rat. I tracked everything, from my skin, my diet, to my routine, and all to answer one question. What happens to your skin when you introduce whey protein? The before and after wasn't just about my muscles, because what I discovered changed how I see supplements forever. First, the ground rules. For this experiment, I used a standard, popular whey protein isolate, 1 scoop daily post-workout. I kept my skincare routine the same with the same cleanser, moisturizer, and SPF just to isolate the variable. I took high-resolution before photos under consistent lighting. And then, I waited, observed, and researched. And here's the timeline of what happened. First week, all was deceptively calm. Honestly, nothing dramatic, maybe a little more hydrated? But beneath the surface, as science suggests, the wheels were already in motion. Whey protein spikes insulin and a growth factor called IGF-1, which act as internal messengers that can tell your skin's oil glands to increase production. The pipeline was being built. Second and third week, the breakout started. Things got real, fast. Along my jawline and cheeks, which are classic hormonal acne zones, I started seeing deep, cystic bumps and not just surface pimples. They were painful, slow to come to a head, and left marks. My skin also took on a thicker, almost congested texture. This was because of that increased oil production, combined with whey protein's potential to stimulate skin cell growth. Together, my pores were clogging from the inside out. It wasn't a surface issue, it was a system problem. I know you're thinking, wait, it's the dairy. And it could be a factor for some people with lactose intolerance. But the primary issue with whey, especially whey isolate, is often the proteins themselves, which are lactoglobulin and alpha-lactalbumin. These are powerful influencers on the insulin and IGF-1 pathways. It was less about an allergy and more about sending my body's natural signaling into overdrive. Fourth week, the turning point in the test. While facing the second and third weeks, I had a choice: abandon the experiment or double down on it. I, of course, chose to see it through. But I also began a targeted, gentle counter-strategy in my skincare. This was important to remind myself that I didn't attack my skin. I supported it. Basically, damage control. First, I doubled down on gentle cleansing to remove excess oil without stripping my barrier. Harsh scrubs and exfoliants were out. Second, I introduced a niacinamide serum. This ingredient apparently does more than one job. It helps regulate oil production, soothe inflammation, and improve barrier function. It was my cornerstone. Third, I used a spot treatment with sulfur and alternated it with Centella asiatica for active bumps, because this ingredient is good for calming skin. And finally, I became a religious user of lightweight, non-comedogenic moisturizer because I knew dehydrated skin will overproduce oil, and I did not want to be a part of that vicious cycle. 30 days later, the active, painful breakouts had significantly subsided. The overall inflammation was down, but my skin wasn't perfect yet. I was left with post-inflammatory hyperpigmentation. You know those red and brown marks that take months to fade? The texture was improved, but not reset. The experiment proved to me, undeniably, that for my body, whey protein was a major inflammatory trigger for my skin. Here's what I learned that applies to everyone. Whey is a hormonal trigger. If you're prone to hormonal acne, whey is a high-risk ingredient. Whey isolate isn't safer. It's often more concentrated in the problematic proteins. Your body is the ultimate lab. You have to observe and connect the dots by yourself. So what did I switch to? I moved to a plant-based protein blend, and the difference for my skin was like night and day. And my skincare philosophy pivoted entirely toward balance, nourishment, and natural support. This journey made me value ingredients that work with my body's biology, not against it. It's why I now look for products that cleanse deeply, but gently, like our natural handmade soaps. It's why supporting my skin's barrier with a soothing herbal toner became non-negotiable. And for lasting clarity, I believe in supporting the body from within with targeted wellness supplements, not just overloading it with isolated proteins. Well, that's that. Have you experienced this? Was it whey, casein, or another supplement that affected your skin? Share your story in the comments. Let's decode our bodies together. If this deep dive helped you, Please give it a like and subscribe for more honest investigations into the intersection of wellness and skin. Thanks for watching.